In the intricate world of international relations, where nations converge and destinies intertwine, meetings between world leaders stand as pivotal moments, carefully orchestrated events that can shape the course of global affairs. These gatherings are not merely ceremonial, they are strategic opportunities for dialogue, negotiation, and the forging of alliances. They serve as crucial platforms for diplomacy and partnership, where nations can address shared challenges and explore avenues for collaboration. In September 2017, amidst the bustling atmosphere of New York City, President Donald Trump hosted a luncheon, an event designed to foster engagement and understanding. The distinguished guests were African leaders, representing a continent of immense potential and diverse perspectives. This significant gathering took place during the United Nations General Assembly in New York City, a time when the world's attention is focused on global cooperation and multilateral dialogue. Leaders from Ghana, Nigeria, representing the vibrant and influential West African region, South Africa, Liberia, nations with unique histories and strategic importance, and others gathered, united by a shared vision for the future of their continent and its relationship with the United States. The agenda was comprehensive, encompassing critical areas such as health, security, and crucially, economic development, recognizing the interconnectedness of these challenges and opportunities. The event was an opportunity, a carefully planned moment for the U.S. to outline its foreign policy priorities and strategic objectives in Africa. It was equally important for African leaders to advocate for their nations, to articulate their needs, and to present their vision for a prosperous and secure future. These meetings are more than just polite conversations or photo opportunities. They symbolize friendship, mutual recognition, and a commitment to working together on issues of global importance. The words spoken, the commitments made, and the agreements reached can shape relationships for years to come, influencing trade, security, and cultural exchange. At this luncheon, a setting designed to encourage open dialogue and build rapport, President Trump spoke about Africa's economic potential, highlighting the opportunities for investment and growth. He acknowledged its vast resources, recognizing the continent's wealth in minerals, energy, and agricultural land. He also praised the entrepreneurial spirit of its people, emphasizing the dynamism and innovation that are driving economic transformation across the continent. He also mentioned shared goals, underscoring the areas where the U.S. and African nations can work together for mutual benefit. These included fighting terrorism, a common threat that requires coordinated efforts and intelligence sharing, and improving public health, addressing diseases, and strengthening healthcare systems to ensure the well-being of populations. Every phrase and gesture, every nuance of communication at such events carries weight and significance, is closely watched and analyzed by diplomats, journalists, and scholars alike, all seeking to decipher the deeper meaning behind the carefully chosen words. Diplomacy often relies on subtle cues, unspoken signals that convey respect, understanding, or even disagreement. It thrives on shared understanding, a common ground that allows nations to bridge differences and find solutions. Within this carefully observed environment, where every detail is scrutinized, a particular comment was made, a seemingly offhand remark that would soon reverberate around the world. This remark, directed at one of the leaders present, though perhaps unintentional, would soon capture global attention, sparking debate and raising questions about cultural sensitivity and diplomatic protocol. It sparked a conversation about history, about the legacy of colonialism and the complexities of identity, language, and cultural awareness, highlighting the importance of cross-cultural communication in an increasingly interconnected world. It placed these issues squarely on the world stage, forcing a reckoning with the power of words and the responsibility of leaders to use them wisely. As the luncheon continued, a palpable sense of anticipation filled the air. The world leaders engaged in polite conversation, the clinking of silverware and hushed tones creating a sophisticated ambiance. President Trump took to the podium, addressing the assembled leaders with a confident demeanor. He acknowledged their respective countries and lauded their various achievements, touching upon key diplomatic relationships and ongoing collaborations. When he turned his attention to Liberia's President George Weah, a celebrated former soccer star known for his athletic prowess and global recognition, his remarks took an unexpected turn, catching many off guard and creating a ripple of surprise throughout the room. Instead of focusing on Liberia's recent progress in key sectors, or the enduring strength of U.S.-Liberian diplomatic ties and collaborative initiatives, Trump chose to compliment Weah, not on his leadership or vision, but rather on his English. He specifically praised the clarity and fluency of Weah's speech, emphasizing its articulate nature and ease of understanding. A surprising thing to highlight, especially considering the context of such a high-profile gathering of world leaders at the United Nations. World leaders attending the UN General Assembly are generally expected to be fluent in English, the lingua franca of international diplomacy, or at least proficient in another official language of the UN. It's considered a basic requirement for effective communication and participation. Praising this skill, in that setting, was somewhat akin to complimenting a chef for simply knowing how to cook a basic dish. The moment, captured by numerous cameras and recording devices, was quickly immortalized on video, and almost immediately spread like wildfire online, sparking widespread debate and intense discussion across various social media platforms. Some observers interpreted it as a harmless, perhaps even well-intentioned, friendly gesture, a simple act of diplomatic courtesy, while others questioned the underlying assumptions and potential implications behind it, offering a more critical analysis. For many, the comment inadvertently overlooked a fundamental and crucial fact about Liberia's unique history and cultural heritage. It highlighted a significant gap in broader historical knowledge and understanding, and ultimately set the stage for a much broader and more nuanced discussion about Liberia's unique and often overlooked story. President Trump's compliment seemed odd to those familiar with Liberia. English is Liberia's official language. It's the language of government, law, and education, central to daily life and national identity. This connection dates back to Liberia's founding in the early 1800s by freed Black Americans. English was the language of the country's founders, and has remained its cornerstone for over 2 centuries. Liberia is also home to over 20 indigenous languages, making it a linguistically diverse nation. Many Liberians are bilingual or multilingual, using English for official matters and local languages in daily life. The official status of English has helped unify a nation of many ethnic groups, though it has also created social complexities. Understanding Liberia's linguistic landscape is key to appreciating its history and identity. The reaction to Trump's compliment was rooted in surprise and disbelief among those who knew Liberia's history. It was like praising the French president for speaking French, completely expected. The US and Liberia share a unique, intertwined past. Monrovia is even named after a US president. Many felt an American president should know Liberia's official language. Some found humor in the oversight, creating memes and jokes online. For others, it was a teachable moment, prompting journalists and educators to explain Liberia's history and linguistic heritage. News outlets detailed the country's founding and its ties to the U.S. An awkward diplomatic moment became a global conversation about Liberia's story. It reminded the world that understanding other nations is essential for respectful international relations. Even small comments can spark important lessons in history and awareness. To understand the unique way English is used in Liberia and its significance in the nation's identity, we must look back to the complex social and political landscape of early 19th century America. This era was pivotal in shaping the destiny of both nations. Amidst the heated debates over the morality and legality of slavery, a controversial solution began to gain traction. Some Americans, driven by various motives, supported colonization, the idea of sending free Black people to Africa, ostensibly to create a new life away from racial prejudice. The American Colonization Society, an organization backed by prominent politicians and influential figures, emerged as a key player in this movement. They spearheaded the effort to establish a colony in West Africa, envisioning it as a haven for repatriated African Americans. In 1822, marking a significant turning point, the first wave of settlers, full of hope and trepidation, arrived at Cape Mesurado, a coastal point in what is now Liberia. This marked the humble beginnings of what would eventually become the nation of Liberia. The name Liberia itself carries profound meaning, derived from the Latin word liber, meaning free, powerfully reflecting its intended purpose as a sanctuary, a land of freedom and opportunity for those who had long been denied it. The early years of the colony were fraught with immense challenges and hardships, but the resilient settlers persevered, drawing upon their experiences and aspirations to build a government closely modeled after that of the United States, complete with a constitution that enshrined democratic principles and a president elected to lead the new nation. Monrovia, the capital city, stands as a testament to this historical connection, bearing the name of President James Monroe, a prominent figure in American history who supported the colonization effort. In 1847, a pivotal moment arrived. Liberia boldly declared its independence, asserting its sovereignty on the world stage. In doing so, the new nation adopted a flag and a constitution that were undeniably inspired by the ideals and symbols of America, reflecting the complex relationship between the two countries. However, it wasn't until 1862, during the American Civil War, that the United States finally formally recognized Liberia's independence. This intricate and often contradictory shared history profoundly explains Liberia's unique cultural and linguistic identity, setting it apart from other African nations and creating a distinctive blend of African and American influences. Despite the passage of time and the complexities of their intertwined past, the bond between the United States and Liberia remains profound and significant to this day. The settlers and their descendants became known as Americo-Liberians, forming a powerful minority. They brought English, Christianity, and American customs, dominating Liberia's political and economic life for over a century. Their English evolved into Liberian English, while a pidgin called colloqua developed for everyday communication. Tensions grew between the Americo-Liberians and the indigenous majority, who had their own cultures and languages. For decades, indigenous people were excluded from full citizenship and power. This division led to conflict, culminating in a 1980 coup that ended Americo-Liberian rule. Years of instability followed, but English remained the official language uniting the nation. The Americo-Liberian story shows how migration, language, and power shape a country's destiny. Liberia's founding legacy and ties to the U.S. continue to influence its identity. The nation's journey is a testament to resilience and adaptation. The exchange between the U.S. and Liberian presidents is a lesson in cultural and historical awareness. In our globalized world, understanding other cultures is essential for building trust and avoiding misunderstandings. Knowing basic facts, like a country's official language, shows respect and diplomatic preparation. Learning about other nations enriches our own perspective and challenges assumptions. Liberia's story reveals a hidden chapter of American history and the global impact of slavery. Education, curiosity, and open-mindedness help us become better global citizens. We don't need to be experts on every country, but we can strive to learn and appreciate different stories. By doing so, we build empathy and stronger international relationships. Respectful engagement starts with a willingness to understand others. This approach helps us avoid awkward moments and fosters genuine connection. Language is a powerful connector, carrying history, culture, and identity. In diplomacy, words matter. Careful language can build bridges, while careless remarks can create friction. The story of Liberia's English is a reminder that language reflects a nation's journey and struggles. Recognizing this history shows respect for Liberia's experience and resilience. Strong international friendships are built on mutual respect and understanding. This respect is shown through fair policies, cooperation, and informed engagement. It also begins with simple acts, like learning about each other's languages and histories. By understanding these foundations, we communicate more effectively and respectfully. Avoiding simple mistakes allows us to focus on common ground and shared goals. Together, we can build a more peaceful and understanding world. The 2017 Luncheon Exchange offers a lasting lesson in diplomacy. A simple comment can spark deeper conversations about history, culture, and respect. The incident highlighted the importance of context and historical awareness in international relations. True respect is built on small, considerate acts and a willingness to learn. Language can bridge divides or create distance depending on how it's used. Diplomacy requires empathy, curiosity, and humility. By learning about other nations, we become better global citizens and partners. Knowledge builds respect, and respect builds trust, the foundation for a peaceful, connected world.